Hello everyone. This video we would like to talk about the concept of congruence. In mathematics, the word congruence or congruent implies that they are the same shape and the same size. It is exactly like Control-C and Control-V copy and pasting on a keyboard. Let us get some common shapes to use as an example. You can see that these three ducks, even though they have different colors, we can see that they have the same shape and the same size. It's as if we just copy and paste it using computer. Therefore, in mathematics, we call these three to be congruent. For Chip and Dale over here on the lower left, you can see that although they have similar poses, they are not exactly the same. Their hands are slightly different, the noses are slightly different, and therefore, in mathematics, they are not congruent. Here you can see these two Hello Kitties. On the right-hand side, if we flip it over using a mirror, we can see that all of its features, at least in the terms of shapes and sizes, are exactly the same. Therefore, in mathematics, we can say that these two are indeed congruent. This here is the symbol of congruence in mathematics. The squirrely line on top means that they have the same shape. The bottom part here means that they have the same size. Here you can see in these two triangles that they are three exactly the same sides. You can also see that other than the sides, the angles are also stated to be exactly the same. Therefore, these two triangles are surely exactly the same triangle. But how do we write down this relationship? How do we show that these two triangles are congruent? Well, first, for starters, we can try to put the right side triangle and make it kind of upright to be the exact same position as the one on the left. This way, it will be easier to compare the two triangles. And we can see point to point that we can write down their congruent relationship. Triangle ABC is congruent to triangle ZXY. When we use the congruent side, we have to ensure that each point, each vertex is exactly corresponding to the other one. For example, if we write A first on the left side, we have to find the exact same angle on the right, which is this blue angle Z on the right side. Here is a pair of triangles. Let us separate these two triangles. We can see that in these two triangles, this pair of sides are the same, this pair of sides are also the same, and these two angles are also equal. But other than that, we can see that these two sides, AB, because they are sharing the same common side, they are therefore equal. And the last angle, because it is a straight line, 90 degrees split into two is still 90 degrees, so they are also equal. Remember, when we are writing down their congruent relationship, we need to write them down point to point. In here, the triangle ABC is congruent to the triangle ABD, point to point. Only when written point to point is this congruence valid. When we know that one pair of triangles are congruent, we can easily find out different values of the unknowns in these triangles. In this question, they already stated that the triangle ABC is congruent to the triangle FED. We don't need to prove this congruence, instead we just use this property to find the unknowns x and y. Because the question already stated that they are congruent, and they are for sure being written point to point, you can see that this side x is actually from point D to point E. This means these two letters, these two last letters, are corresponding to the other two last letters on the other side, which means the side ED corresponds to the side BC, and therefore we can say that BC equals to ED. We write down the reason as corresponding sides congruent triangle. Therefore, x equals to 20. For the last angle, y, we can see that it is at the point F. And therefore, looking at the congruence, we can see that point F is on the left side corresponding to the point A. And therefore, we can write down that angle F equals to angle A, which means angle A equals to angle Y. And the reason is corresponding angles congruent triangle. Therefore, Y equals to 48 degrees. Remember, you have to write down the reason in the brackets. That's all for today. If there's anything you don't understand, come to the math room and ask us. Goodbye.